Welcome back. And with a new legal year upon us, let's bring you some of the top trending stories from the courtrooms.
We begin at the Federal High Court in Lagos, where the trial of a former governor of Abia State, Orji Uzor Kalu, over an alleged 7.65 billion naira fraud case was stalled due to his absence in court because of medical attention. At the resumed trial on Monday, his counsel, Mr. Agodi Uche, apologized to the court for the absence of the first accused, saying that Mr. Kalu was in Germany for surgery. Mr. Uche told the court that Mr. Kalu's medical appointment slated earlier for August the 2nd, which the court had earlier granted permission for, was unable to proceed, as the accused could not get a flight to Germany on time. Justice Mohammed Idris, in a ruling, described the conduct of the former governor as highly irresponsible, saying he doubted that Mr. Kalu had any such surgical appointment as of July 27, when he wrote to the court to seek a 6-week adjournment of his trial. Orji Uzor Kalu is being tried alongside his company, Slok Nigeria Limited, and Ude Udeogu, who served as Director of Finance and Accounts at the Abia State Government House during his term as governor. The case is adjourned to September the 20th and 21st. In the federal capital, Abuja, the Federal High Court has awarded 10,500,000 naira in costs and damages to journalist James Abiri for his illegal detention by the Department of State Services (DSS). Justice Nnamdi Dingba, who delivered the judgment, ruled that the DSS acted outside the provision of the Constitution and the Terrorism Prevention Act. In the ruling, he said the DSS hasn't denied the fact that it arrested and detained the journalist illegally since the 21st of July 2018, denying him access to his doctors, family and friends. While emphasizing that the rule of law accommodates national security, the judge said when James Abiri was eventually charged to court earlier this year, he was not charged with the crimes for which he was arrested. Mr. Abiri, a Bayelsa-based journalist, was arrested at his office in Yenagoa, the state capital, for his alleged link to armed militancy in the Niger Delta region. Meanwhile, in Yola, Adamawa State, a high court granted an interim order restraining the African Democratic Party, ADC, from conducting its party primaries in Adamawa State. The order was made by aggrieved members of the party who claimed to be the authentic executives prior to the decamping of APC members to the ADC. In granting the interim injunction, Justice Waziri ordered the ADC National Working Committee not to conduct any primaries in Adamawa State, and that the other defendants acting as the ADC State Working Committee should not parade themselves as members of the Adamawa State Executive Committee pending the determination of the case. Counsel to the plaintiff, in an interview with the media, says the interim injunction will be served accordingly since none of the defendants were in court when the case was being mentioned. Back in Lagos State, a high court sitting in Ikeja has refused to grant any further delay in the trial of alleged kidnapped kingpin Chukwudumeme Onwumadike, popularly known as Evans, who's hired a new counsel. Justice Akim Oshodi insisted on this when Evans' new counsel, Mr. Chino Biagu, requested for a short adjournment to enable him study the case file. The trial, which last held on June the 22nd, had been put on hold at the instance of a new counsel, Mr. Noel Brown, who taken over from Mr. Olukoya Ogungbeje, the lawyer Evans had first engaged. The fifth and sixth defendants' counsel, Mr. Agulana Ozoku and Mr. Emmanuel Ochai, opposed Mr. Obiagu's prayer, pointing out that the several adjournments are affecting the liberty of their clients. On his part, the State Counsel, Mr. Harun Adebayo, also opposed the adjournment request and said the state is ready for trial. After the ruling, Mr. Adebayo called the first witness, a police inspector who was part of the IGP response team that arrested Evans and his co-accused and investigated the alleged crime. Further hearing has been adjourned till October the 26th.
And it's on that note we end this week's edition of Law Weekly. Please feel free to send in your questions and comments on any of the issues we featured today. Do also remember that you can watch this episode and past episodes of the program on our YouTube channel. I'm Millicent Walker. Many thanks for watching.